Welcome to LPL English Unofficial. We are interviewing LYON Isles ahead of his first stand debut on Tuesday in Sao Paulo. Isles, first of all, how you doing? Did you travel well? Is everything going well with getting settled in Sao Paulo?
Honestly, I've never really successfully slept on a plane, and I remember it was just a few days ago now, but I think I was up for 26 hours before my head finally hit the pillow at 11 a.m. and I had I slept for about 4.5 hours just as a nap because we were literally screaming that evening.
Oh my gosh,
So
that's crazy.
still, I guess recovering a little bit. Haven't been sleeping great, but
I
I'm
hope it gets
still,
better for you.
stoked to be here though.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, is this your first time in Brazil? If so, what were you most excited to do, to see, to eat when you knew you were going to Brazil?
Um, Honestly, I wasn't really sure what to expect.
Hmm.
I don't really know that much about Brazil. Maybe even about South America at large, but um, from what I've heard, Brazil is famous for meat.
Yeah.
Big steak meat guy. Enjoy all that stuff. So had a little bit of what's to offer so far, but with how tight the schedule is firsthand
Yeah.
in terms of scrims travel, even fitting in this media day that I'm literally doing right now is taking so much time.
Yeah.
And in this position, when you're given this opportunity, for me, it's all about trying to maximize your time, and
Absolutely.
I don't want to take it for granted. So
Yeah. Well, I just answer me quickly on this one. If you could make one of your teammates play support for a series, who would it be? What would they play and why?
definitely inspired would play
Yeah, I
support.
knew that you were gonna say that.
Absolutely, he would play that. He plays it like every day in solo queue, so he has to play it.
All right.
What will he play? I mean, I think his. I would really like to see him play Poppy. I think that would be
Oh, that'd be
exciting
sick. That'd be
because
sick.
I think he's great at the jungle, and he's been outspoken about how he thinks support's are bad at it. So I'd love to see him on it.
Give him some a taste of the medicine. All right, so a little bit more serious questions. This is your second international, all the way dating back to Worlds 2020, if you can think back that far. What would you say the biggest difference is between you as a person and a player now versus all the way back in 2020?
I mean, as a person, so much has changed.
Yeah.
I would like to think, at least, that I've matured a lot and gained a lot of perspective since then.
Mm.
But still the same person to some degrees between the years. So as a player, I think my journey has been a bit of an up and down one. I haven't always had I guess, a stable place inside the LCS. People consider me a bit of a veteran, but I don't really view myself that way just
Mm-hmm.
because of the the journey I suppose I've taken to be here, and the opportunity that I have been given in line was not one I think, speaking genuinely, was not one I think I earned off my own merit.
Mm.
It was just something that happened. It lined up because it lined up. I mean, I'm really eternally grateful, of course, to the management behind the scenes that gave me this opportunity. But um, just just so far, especially when you get the perspective of playing against some of these players that I've had the privilege of playing against these past few days.
Yeah.
So far, still to go.
I like it. I like it. Well, hey, we always talk about tier two development, how important it is. I feel like you were one that kind of flew under the radar when you got promoted up to tier one. And as you're saying, you kind of feel like it maybe wasn't earned, but I think it was. Were there any lessons from your time in tier two that maybe you would give current tier two players that are looking to make that jump, to make that push?
I mean, honestly, I was kind of in a funny situation because of my performance at Worlds. I think was above people's expectations. I actually remember I chose to join tier two instead of tier one at the
Mm.
time, and the reason is because I didn't want to have don't mean to name drop in like a rude way or anything,
Yeah.
but I remember Ryoma's kind of trajectory where he jumped straight into tier one, and
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately, I think he just didn't have that performance that fans were looking for, and because of that, he got a lot of hate, and that kind of just sent his career in the complete wrong direction.
Yeah.
That's what I think at the time, especially as like the first big, besides FBI, was the first like really big Australian import at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I was really scared to try and take a similar path So I chose to join Tier 2, and it was great. I played with, I mean, I just spawned in, I think, with the best teammates at the time, and we had
Pretty
we had
good
some,
team.
yeah, we had some decent success. C9 had a lot of interesting things going on at that time
Mm.
with just the players that we had on board, the all like the systems jerks and all this thing. There was so much like that
Yeah.
happened during my time at C9 with like the LS project. A lot of stuff to be excited about, and I'd like to think a lot of the negatives have definitely tied into the person I am today, hopefully for the better. But there are a lot of positives to take away too. And I guess for people talking about tier 2 to tier 1, it's definitely not what it was before. The
Mhm.
the infrastructure and the pipeline, I suppose, is not the same as it was. But it all starts with individual play, which is again something that I've learned this year. It all starts with individual play. It starts with accountability, and it starts and ends with you. So
I like that. That's
not
some
as
really
you,
good words.
Mizel. But it's
Yeah. I get that.
unless you're getting into the
Unfortunately, not. My time is coming past. But I got to ask you, zooming out a little bit. I mean, you've been working towards these goals for a long time. What supports, I guess, influenced you the most coming up in pro play? Would you have a couple you'd want to name or that really guided your play style?
I mean, for me personally, Mata was the first support that I ever looked up to. Um, I didn't really have like a moment in my I guess my childhood, just going that far back,
Mm-hmm.
where I thought that I wanted to be a pro gamer. I remember when I was like 14, I thought to myself, if I was serious about this when I was 11, maybe this would actually be something that I would pursue. But when I was like 14, I was like, nah, it's too late, something like that. But it's something that I fell into. But Mata was the support that I was watching around these times. When Mata won, I think on Samsung. I don't remember if Mata won in
Mm-hmm.
season 4. Did he? With Deft?
Mhm.
Deft Mata? Wait, no, Deft lost. It was Imp Mata.
Yeah, it was Impana.
Yeah,
Yep.
I thought Imp was absolutely legendary, and Mata was just. I mean, Thresh was one of my most played champions, I think, in my
It is.
my high school career, and I really looked up to him. But talking more recently, Carrier actually, I think, debuted the year after I did in Australia. So
Mm-hmm.
I remember I was already following. I think he was on KZ at the time, King Zone. It was like KZ Carrier, maybe something like that. And I was a big Lux player back then because Lux was
Yeah.
really popular at that time with Athenes. Sorry for the prehistoric history lesson.
Yeah, the
Those who
throwback
don't
there.
understand it. But yeah, Carrier was someone I was following at the time.
Nice.
He's a little bit younger than me, but debuted at a similar time. So I've always taken inspiration from him. I always thought he was great.
Mm-hmm.
I think mainly those two, but I've always followed the best supports, whoever that might be. I think maybe 2024 people thought like was that when Delight was on Gingy? Maybe.
I
I'm not
believe
making that up.
so.
That could've
I
been
think
last
so.
year too.
Yeah, I think
But
it was.
I followed Delight this year.
Okay,
I've
okay.
watched like if you look at any of the stream VODs of Duro, I've watched all of them.
That's so funny.
So,
All right.
Like,
I
and I look
like
back
it.
on them all the time. Like I love
Yeah.
watching the greatest do it, but it's not the same to play against them as it is to watch them. But
Mhm.
you have to start somewhere.
Yeah, no, exactly. All right, I want to ask you one last little emotional question. I know we're focused on international. It's awesome to see you back on the international stage, but man, what did it mean to finally reach that mountaintop in NA? It's something you've been driving for so long. Since OS collapsed and you came over to NA, right? Being in tier 2, working your way up through there, like obviously there are bigger and better things to strive for coming up for you, but does the struggle feel worth it now?
I don't mean to sound like a depressed person. I
Yeah.
think honestly that is the vibe that I give off. But I can only be honest with you, and I think that I won and I got to lift the trophy, but I don't think that I was happy with the level I displayed, even
Okay.
in that last series, even in the series before that. Like it was long weekend, obviously,
Mhm.
and you can try to point fingers or make excuses, but just to personally like win and feel satisfied, it's just still. I don't know. It
Yeah.
always feels like it's fleeting, I guess.
Yeah,
It's
I
always like
feel
that little bit out of reach to feel like, sit down and think that you played really well. Honestly, when you play with really good teammates, sometimes I get out of a game and I look at my team fights and I thought to myself in game, that I played it perfectly. And I look in the review, and I look at my own perspective, and I think like, man, I played this perfectly. But then someone will say something, and just like my whole like idea of what I should have done has just collapsed in a moment. Like, why did you do this? And I'm like, what? I didn't even consider that. And you know, it's just this whole trip, this whole experience I've had. I think it's just all perspective.
Yeah.
There's just so far to go.
I'm so happy to hear that, man. Your drive is impeccable, and I can't wait to see the heights that you reach, man. Thank you so much for sitting with me. I appreciate you, and good luck in the series, and good luck in the week.
Thank you.
Take it easy.